Daily Devotion with Pastor Balla for October 26th, 2023, from Revelation chapter 15, Opening of the Tent. Previously, we heard about another battle between Satan and the believers of God and another victory song. And after the victory song, the sanctuary would be open. And when we get to verse 5, the Jewish readers may be thinking in the back of their mind about the day when Christ died and the temple curtain was torn in two, because that temple curtain was a great separator between the people and God, because God is holy and the people were not. But through Christ, we are made holy. So when Jesus dies on the cross, Satan is defeated, as John sees in his vision. So is there a correlation between the two, the death on the cross and this time and point in John's vision? Remember, we experience time much differently than God does. So let's continue with Revelation chapter 15, verse 5. After this I looked, and the sanctuary of the tent of witness in heaven was opened. The tent of witness. Now, we may not be used to that description. It only occurs a couple times and in the New Testament. We usually think of the tent of meeting, which describes God meeting his people, amen, or the tent of testimony, which is related to the word witness. Now, hang on to that word witness for a moment, because there's a nuance in the Greek with that word witness, which is then, if I basically pronounce the Greek word into English, it is martyr. A martyr is a witness or a testimony. Keep in mind that when the saints were martyred, usually we think of that they were killed because they were Christians. Now that is going to be avenged by God. So this tent where God meets with his people is going to be used as an introduction for God's vengeance. Verse 6, and out of the sanctuary came the 7 angels with the 7 plagues, clothed in pure bright linen, with golden sashes around their chests. We heard about the 7 angels and the 7 plagues a little bit earlier in the chapter, but now they're back. Their dress suggests that they are on a mission from God. Verse 7, and one of the 4 living creatures gave the 7 angels 7 golden bowls full of the wrath of God, who lives forever and ever. Now, this is important to understand. The 7 angels were given the golden bowls, which were already filled with the wrath of God. Angels are just messengers, doing what God instructs them to do. Verse 8, and the sanctuary was filled with smoke from the glory of God and from his power. And no one could enter the sanctuary until the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were finished. The glory comes from God, just as the angels are sent on a mission from God. This is God's doing. Please note that no one could enter the sanctuary until the plagues were finished. Why? Well, consider who God is. God is a good gift giver. We have a God who is a God of love. This is the true nature of God. However, God sometimes has to do what we call his alien work. Alien meaning not creatures from outer space, but the idea is the same. That what God is doing is not from his true nature of love, but it is still something that has to be done. Just like there are certain tasks in our earthly life we really don't enjoy doing, but we need to do it. So while God is doing his alien work, dispensing his wrath, no believer is allowed in the sanctuary because God doesn't want his wrath to be put on upon the believers. God's peace and many blessings be with you, and thank you for listening. And please take an opportunity to share this message with others. If you have enjoyed these daily devotions, please consider making a donation to Peace Lutheran Church, 24024 West Main Street, Plainfield, Illinois, 60544. Thank you again for listening.